When I proposed to Lily, I believed I was starting the greatest chapter of my life. We had been together for 3 years, building memories, weaving dreams, and talking about the family we would someday have. The night I slipped the ring onto her finger, her eyes sparkled, and she whispered, "Yes," like it was the most natural thing in the world. In that moment I felt invincible, like nothing could shake what we had. But just weeks later, cracks began to appear, small at first, then impossible to ignore. Lily became distant, glued to her phone, often stepping outside to take private calls. I told myself it was wedding stress, that planning a future together was overwhelming her. I didn't want to seem paranoid, so I stayed quiet, burying the unease gnawing at me. Then one night, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. I shouldn't have looked, but curiosity and fear overpowered me. A single notification froze my blood. "Can't stop thinking about last night. You still feel like mine." It was from her ex, someone I thought she had left in the past long ago. My hands shook as I scrolled. The messages painted a picture too vivid to deny. Late-night meetups, secret confessions, stolen intimacy. Every word felt like a dagger twisting deeper. The woman I was planning to marry, the woman I trusted with my whole heart, had been lying to me while I was out choosing suits and tasting cakes. When she stepped out of the bathroom, humming like nothing had happened, I felt my chest tighten. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but instead I sat there in silence, the phone in my hand. She froze when she saw it, her smile vanishing instantly. "Lily," I said, my voice low and shaking, "tell me it's not true." She didn't. She couldn't. The silence between us was louder than any confession. At that moment, everything I thought I knew about our relationship crumbled. The ring on her finger felt like a cruel joke, a symbol of promises she had already broken. Lily's face drained of color, and she snatched the phone from my hand like a child caught red-handed. "It's not what you think," she whispered, her voice trembling. But those words, the classic line, only fueled the fire burning inside me. "Not what I think." I shot back, standing to my feet. "Because what I think is that the woman I was about to marry is sneaking around with her ex. What I think is that you've been lying to me while I've been planning a future for us." Tears welled in her eyes, but instead of remorse I saw frustration, like she was more upset about being caught than about what she'd done. "It was a mistake," she muttered. "I was confused." He reached out and "You chose him." I cut in, my voice sharper than I intended. "Confusion doesn't make you crawl back into the arms of someone you claimed was part of your past. You didn't just betray me, you destroyed us." For a moment, silence hung between us, heavy and suffocating. I could hear the hum of the ceiling fan, the ticking of the clock, every little sound amplified as my life unraveled. Finally, she dropped her head into her hands and sobbed. "I didn't mean for it to go this far. I love you, but I don't know why I let it happen." Her words were hollow, echoing against the walls of the apartment we had chosen together. Love doesn't sneak out in the middle of the night to answer someone else's call. Love doesn't exchange promises with one man while warming the bed of another. I walked to the drawer where I had tucked away our wedding invitations, the ones we had carefully selected after hours of debate. I pulled them out, flipped through them, then dropped the entire stack into the trash. The sound of the paper hitting the bin felt final, like a gavel striking down in judgment. Lily's sobs grew louder. She reached out, clutching at my arm. "Please don't end it like this. We can work through it." I pulled away. "You already ended it." I'm just the one admitting the truth out loud. At that moment, I knew I couldn't stay. Love without trust is nothing more than a cage, and I refused to live trapped in lies. The next morning, I packed a suitcase with only the essentials. Each fold of clothing felt like a chapter closing. Each zipped compartment a barrier between me and the life I had almost walked into blind. Lily sat on the couch, her eyes swollen from a night of crying. She didn't beg this time. She just watched, silent, maybe realizing that nothing she could say would undo what she had done. When I reached the door, she finally whispered, "So that's it?" I paused, hand resting on the handle. "That's it. You had a chance at forever with me, Lily, but you traded it for scraps of the past. I deserve more than half-truths and stolen moments. I deserve someone who doesn't make me question my worth." The The door shut behind me with a soft click, but inside, it felt like thunder. In the weeks that followed, I went through the motions of heartbreak, anger, disbelief, numbness. Friends reached out, offering advice or sympathy, but what I needed most was time. Time to remember that my life was not defined by her betrayal. Time to understand that walking away wasn't weakness, it was strength. Some nights, the memories came back in waves, the laughter we once shared, the dreams we painted together. But then I would remember that text thread, the smug lies she tried to cover with crocodile tears, and my resolve would harden again. You can't build a future on cracked foundations. Slowly, clarity returned. I reconnected with hobbies I had neglected, spent more time with family, and started focusing on the career goals I had put on pause. With every step forward, I realized that betrayal, as painful as it was, had given me a gift, freedom. Freedom from wasting my life on someone who didn't value it. Months later, I heard through a mutual friend that Lily's ex had once again walked out on her. A small part of me pitied her, but a larger part felt nothing at all. That chapter was over. And for the first time in a long time, I felt light. Not because she was gone, but because I had chosen myself. Sometimes, moving forward isn't about revenge or even justice. It's about reclaiming your dignity, your peace, and your future. And that's exactly what I did.